So, hello everyone. In this video, we will do the daily current affairs analysis of 11th November 2021. So, the first topic which we will discuss is about the Irrawaddy Dolphin. It is from GS paper 3 and topic is conservation related issues. So why it is in the news? Recently, Irabidi Dolphins had been found dead in the Chilika Lake. This is the eighth dolphin death in Odisha in the 8 months. About the Irabidi Dolphins, so they fall under the Schedule 1 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and have been mentioned in the International Union for Conservation of Nature IUCN's red list as of the endangered species. Okay, so they have been found in the coastal areas in South and Southeast Asia and in the three rivers which are the Irrawaddy, Myanmar, the Mahakam, which is located in the Indonesian Borneo, and the Mekong River, which is located in China. So the concentrated lagoon populations are found in Chilika Lake in Odisha and Songlakha Lake in southern Thailand. So you have to remember these names. They are very important from the prelims point of view. So next is about the Chilika Lake. Chilika is Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. It is the largest wintering ground for migratory birds on the Indian subcontinent and is home to a number of threatened species of plants and animals. In 1981, Chilika Lake was designated as the first Indian wetland of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. So it is a very important statement, particularly from the prelims point of view. So the major attraction at Chilika is Irabidi dolphins, which are often spotted off Satpada Island. The large Nalabana Island forest of reeds covering about 16 square kilometer in the lagoon area was declared a bird sanctuary in 1987. Kali Jai temple located on an island in the Chilika Lake also has the Irrawaddy dolphins in and around its vicinity. So this also becomes important that it can be a potential question in prelims that Kalijai temple recently been in the news is located in which of the following states, and the options can be Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Karnataka. So the answer in that case would be Odisha. So the prelims hot link topics are about the habitats and IUCN status of Irrawaddy dolphins, their global distribution, all about the Chilka Lake, and also about the other types of dolphins which are found in India. You have to study about them also. Source of this news is Down to Earth. Next is about the raptor species. What are they? So it is from GS paper 3 and topic is conservation related issues. So why it is in the news? 160 species of birds of prey endangered worldwide. Around 30% of the 557 raptor species around the world are threatened by extinction to some degree, according to a new study. The Philippines eagle, the hooded vulture and the Anobonscops owl were among the 166 species facing some degree of threat, the study has found. The new analysis by the International Union for the Conservation of Nature IUCN and BirdLife International, a global initiative to protect birds and wildlife by non-profit organizations, was published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Threats to the birds of prey. The threats to the birds of prey are a result of habitat loss, pollution, toxic substances, human wildlife conflict, collisions with aerial structures, and electrocution by power lines, and climate change. Migratory birds of prey are at risk to these threats due to long annual journeys from their breeding grounds to wintering areas and back. The population of Philippines eagle, the largest variety of eagles in the world, decreased rapidly in the last decades due to extensive deforestation. Some vulture populations have declined by over 95% in Asian countries such as India because of the widespread use of diclofenac, which is an inflammatory drug. So this particular term diclofenac is very important from the prelims point of view, because it can be a potential statement question in the prelims that diclofenac recently been in the news or recently seen in the news is which among the following is associated with which among the following, and options can be it is a herbicide, it is a pesticide, or it is a drug to treat cancer, or it is an anti-inflammatory drug. So the answer in that case would be it is an anti-inflammatory drug. And there has been a lot of threat to the climate and also to the biodiversity all over the world, to both the flora and the fauna. That is why it is very important to balance the economic justice with the concept of environmental justice, which means that while we are focusing a lot to enhance the economic productivity through various means, through establishing industries or through boosting infrastructure, or through generating more jobs, or creating an environment for the workforce to grow, for the companies to set up their establishments in a particular country. At the same time, we have to ensure that we are not degrading the environment to a level from which it is not possible to restore the level of destruction that we have done. That is why the concept of environmental justice has come to light, and which is nothing but the sustainable development, which means that while we are enhancing the prospects of development for the present generation, we are not endangering the prospects of development for the future generations, which is directly linked to the level of destruction we are causing to the environment currently. Because if we are destructing the environment to such an extensive level that it is not possible to restore that destruction in say next 100 to 200 years, so it's not possible for the future generations to enhance their chances of development when they try to do it. Because if the environment has been destructed to such a level which from which it is not possible to restore the level of destruction which has been done to the flora, to the fauna, then we cannot think of the level of development which could have been possible if the level of destruction to the environment would not have been that immense. So that is why the environmental justice has to be kept in mind while we are focusing on economic justice, while we are focusing to enhance the economic productivity. So that's the most important issue right now. That's why the countries are focusing a lot on the climate change mitigation initiatives, like the recently held COP26, which is happening, where the lot of countries have been focusing on reducing the carbon emissions or becoming carbon neutral by the next few decades, wherein India has also committed to become climate neutral by 2070. So that is all this is directly linked, and all these things are interlinked. So you have to do the self analysis while you are reading a particular thing, because this self analysis only helps you to write better answers in mains, because then you will be able to handle such complex questions which are not directly related to the topic, but they are interconnected to the core topic. So that is why the proper analysis is very important while you are studying a particular topic. Answer writing helps you to improve the speed, helps you to improve the presentation mainly, but the content or the analysis of that particular thing, it has to continue all the time. Whenever you are studying a particular topic, you have to do the self analysis of that thing. So what is Raptor MOU? The CMS Memorandum of Understanding on the Conservation of Migratory Birds of Prey in Africa and Eurasia aims to promote internationally coordinated actions to achieve the favorable conservation status of migratory birds of prey throughout their range in the African Eurasian region and to reverse their decline when and where appropriate. The Raptor's MOU is one of the several instruments operating under the Convention on Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals (CMS). The MOU seeks willingness of the signatory range states for working for conservation of the raptor species and their habitats. India signed Raptor MOU in 2016. Raptor MOU is also in conformity with the provisions of the existing Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So you have to read about this also, Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and all the amendments or the proposed amendments brought to it, particularly for the prelims. So the prelims hot link topics are about raptor species, threat to the raptor species, international efforts for the conservation of raptor species, about the Raptor MOU. So source of this news is Down to Earth. Next is process of renunciation of Indian citizenship. So it is from GS paper 2 and topic is citizenship related issues. So why it is in the news? The Ministry of Home Affairs MHA had recently simplified the process for Indians who want to renounce their citizenship. Provisions had been made for applicants to upload documents online with an upper limit of 60 days for the renunciation process to be completed. About citizenship in India, Articles 5 to 11 of the Constitution deal with the concept of citizenship. The term citizenship entails the enjoyment of full membership of any state in which a citizen has civil and political rights. Termination of citizenship is possible in three ways according to the Citizenship Act 1955. This is very important from the prelims point of view. So the first way to renounce the citizenship or for the termination of citizenship is the renunciation. If any citizen of India who is also a national of any other country renounces his Indian citizenship through a declaration in the prescribed manner, he ceases to be an Indian citizen. Next is termination. Indian citizenship can be terminated if a citizen knowingly or voluntarily adopts the citizenship of any foreign country. Next is deprivation. The government of India can deprive a person of his citizenship in some cases. It is applicable only in the case of citizens who have acquired the citizenship by registration, naturalization, or only by Article 5C. So the prelims hot link topics are constitutional provisions regarding citizenship, OCI versus NRI, and the source of this news is the Indian Express. Next is Real Estate Regulatory Authority RERA Act of 2016. So it is from GS paper 2 and topic is welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of the population by the center and states and the performance of these schemes, mechanisms, laws, institutions and bodies constituted for the protection and betterment of these vulnerable sections. So why it is in the news? The Supreme Court has recently stepped in to protect home buyers from exploitation by builders who delay transfer of possession and often redraft delivery schedules. Need for a petition was filed on the lack of a uniform or model form for agreements entered into among builders, agents and buyers. The petition said the Real Estate Regulatory Authority RERA Act of 2016 had hardly been implemented. Often, hard-earned savings of ordinary citizens who aspired to have their own homes were invested, but many families became penniless, waiting for a roof over their heads that the builders had promised them. The petitioner drew court's attention to Section 41 and 42 of the RERA Act. Section 41 mandated the establishment of a Central Advisory Council. Section 42 said the council would ensure the implementation of the Act, drive major policy changes, assure that consumer interests were not thwarted by builders and promoters, and craft the faster growth of the real estate sector. The Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016. It is aimed at bringing in transparency and redefining the engagement between various stakeholders. Key provisions: a requirement for developers to now register projects with RERA prior to any advertisement and sale. Developers are also expected to have all sanction plans approved and regulatory clearances in place prior to commencement of sale. Subsequent changes have to be approved by a majority of buyers and the regulator. The Act ambitiously stipulates an electronic system maintained on the website of RERA where developers are expected to update on a quarterly basis the status of their projects and submit regular audits and architectural reports. It requires developers to maintain separate escrow accounts in relation to each project and deposit 70% of the collections in such an account to ensure that funds collected are utilized only for the specific project. The Act also requires real estate brokers and agents to register themselves with the regulator. The Act also attempts to establish an adjudicatory mechanism for the speedy redressal of disputes. RERA and the appellate tribunal are expected to decide on complaints within an ambitious period of 60 days. Significance of the Act: the Act has been described by the Center as an attempt at cleaning up the real estate sector, ushering in transparency, accountability, and fair play among stakeholders. This law will empower the consumer while boosting the credibility of developers or the builders. It is widely felt that the Act will shift housing demand, at least in the immediate term, towards the organized players better equipped as they are to fulfill various stipulations. Most such players have welcomed the Act, saying that it will bridge the trust deficit between the home buyers and the home developers. So the prelims hot link topics are about RERA, key provisions associated with it, important organizations established under it. So the source of this news is The Hindu. Next is the PM Poshan Shakti Nirman scheme. So it is a prelims specific topic. So why it is in the news? The existing midday meal scheme, which provides hot meals to students, has been recently renamed as the National Scheme for PM Poshan Shakti Nirman. So about the midday meal scheme, the National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education (NPNSPE) was launched as a centrally sponsored scheme in 1995. The objective was to enhance enrollment, retention, and attendance and simultaneously improve the nutritional levels among children. In 2001, it was renamed as the cooked midday meal scheme. The scheme covers children of classes 1st to 8th studying in government aided schools, special training centers and madrasas, maktabs supported under the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. So this particular thing is very important from the prelims point of view, because there can be a potential question that the midday meal scheme covers the students of which of the following schools or institutions. So that's why you have to remember these details, and also the class, because only the students studying in class 1st to 8th are covered under the midday meal scheme, and as it has been renamed, so that's why it becomes very important. So this is the largest school feeding program in the world. It is covered by the National Food Security Act 2013. So the source of this news is again The Hindu. Next is the meningitis. It is a prelims specific topic. So the global roadmap to defeat meningitis by 2030 was recently released by the World Health Organization and its partners. This is the first ever global strategy to defeat meningitis It aims to eliminate epidemics of bacterial meningitis and to reduce the deaths by 70% and halve the number of cases. Significance: the strategy could save more than 2 lakh lives annually and significantly reduce the disability caused by the disease. About meningitis, it is an inflammation of the membranes that surround the brain and spinal cord. It is predominantly caused by bacterial and viral infections. It is caused by bacterial infection, which causes around 2.5 lakh deaths per year and can lead to fast spreading epidemics. It kills a tenth of those infected, mostly children and young people, and leaves a fifth with long lasting disability. So, source of this news is the WHO website. So, thanks a lot for watching the analysis video. Have a nice day.